Whispers began to swirl that the chemistry between the Prince Harry actor and one unexpected woman on set burned far stronger than the one scripted with Meghan herself. Behind every scene, subtle glances and quiet moments seemed to tell a different story, one that blurred the line between performance and reality. Sources close to the production hinted at tension, secrecy, and a certain unease from Meghan's circle as word of the on-set bond spread. What began as a fairy tale reenactment quickly turned into something the cameras couldn't contain. And when Meghan reportedly learned about what really unfolded behind the scenes, her reaction said more than any royal statement ever could. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. There are moments in Hollywood where the cameras stop rolling, the scripts fade, and the truth behind the scenes becomes far more gripping than anything written on paper. What was supposed to be a controlled reenactment of one of the world's most talked about royal love stories soon became the very drama it was portraying. Today, we're diving into the whispers surrounding the actor playing Prince Harry, the unexpected connection he formed on set, and how this quiet spark sent Meghan's circle into an uproar. Production insiders say everything began normally enough. The casting was done carefully, the production team was determined to recreate a love story that had been analyzed, debated, and broadcast across the world. Meghan, who has always been highly aware of public perception, reportedly took a particular interest in how the portrayal of her relationship would come across on screen. Everything had to be glossy, intentional, flattering, and perhaps even a bit idealized. But as filming continued, the situation began to shift in ways no one anticipated. The actor chosen to play Prince Harry stepped into his role with warmth and charisma. His chemistry with the actress portraying Meghan was supposed to be the centerpiece. But it wasn't those scenes that caught the attention of those on set. Observers began to notice that the strongest, most unspoken connection was happening off-camera. And not with the actress playing Meghan. Instead, it was with another woman involved in the production, someone never intended to be a part of the story unfolding before the cameras. Their interactions were subtle, lingering glances, quiet conversations away from the main group, shared smiles that seemed to say far more than words ever could. At first, most assumed it was just professional energy. After all, working long days side by side can build friendly bonds. But sources close to the set began to sense that this was not simply camaraderie. There was an ease between them, a natural warmth that didn't need to be performed. And that is precisely what raised eyebrows. Those in Meghan's circle reportedly monitor anything associated with her public image very closely. So when word began to filter back to them that the lead actor's emotional center might be drifting, even unintentionally, toward someone else, concern quickly turned into scrutiny. According to several whispers from production staff, Meghan's team wanted to know exactly who this woman was, what the nature of her relationship with the actor was, and why so many people were talking about them. The reaction did not come from a place of romance, but rather image control. Meghan has built a public brand rooted in the idea of a powerful, fairy tale love story, the type of narrative that cannot afford cracks. Any suggestion that the emotional truth of that story could be overshadowed or challenged by real-life chemistry on set posed a direct risk to the carefully curated identity she has spent years constructing. And the more the bond between the actor and the other woman became visible to those working alongside them, the more uncomfortable the atmosphere reportedly became. Crew members have described quiet tension that began to ripple through filming days. What was once simply a reenactment of a well-known story now held undertones of something far more real and more delicate. The cameras captured scripted love, but the eyes behind the cameras caught something entirely different. The glances were not forced. The pauses held weight. The smiles held effortlessness. And people noticed. What makes this situation even more striking is that it wasn't dramatic or scandalous in any outward way. There were no late-night arguments or heated exchanges. It was the silence that made it powerful, the kind of quiet bond that doesn't need to be flaunted to be understood. Those closest to the project said it became impossible to ignore the way these two simply gravitated toward each other without ever appearing to try. When Meghan was reportedly informed of what was happening, her reaction spoke volumes. It wasn't theatrical. It wasn't loud. But it carried a certain cold clarity. It became clear that the situation was being watched, that boundaries were being defined, and that nothing which could complicate the public fairy tale would be allowed to develop further. The message was subtle but unmistakable. The story being filmed was her story, not theirs. And that raises the deeper question, where does performance end and reality begin? When portraying romance becomes a daily act, how does anyone separate the feeling they are supposed to express from the feelings they begin to experience without meaning to? Hollywood is known for blurring lines. Sometimes the act becomes the emotion. Sometimes the story being told begins to bleed into the lives of those telling it. For the two individuals at the center of this, there was no scandal, no betrayal, no public explosion, just an undeniable human connection in a space where everything is meant to be artificial. Yet even without any wrongdoing, the impact was strong enough to send waves through the production and beyond. As filming drew closer to its end, the atmosphere reportedly shifted again. Professional distance returned. The easy warmth that had once been effortless became something more measured, more careful, more aware of itself. But among those who witnessed the moments as they unfolded, the memory of that quiet spark remains. A reminder that genuine emotion cannot always be scripted, directed, or controlled, no matter how powerful the image may be. This story is not about scandal. It is about humanity. It is about how real life sometimes slips through the cracks of even the most calculated environments. And perhaps, it is about the reality that even those who spend years crafting their own narratives cannot always control the truth that unfolds around them. If you found this story as intriguing as the many insiders who witnessed it, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Do you believe true chemistry can be hidden on a set built on performance? And what does this mean for the way public figures shape their narratives? The discussion starts with you.